I would like to ask you all one question. Who do you support for the county executive and why? And I would also like to talk about the landfills that are becoming full, and that 30% of Baltimore County's trash is burned in Baltimore City, where many, many children are getting asthma because of the incinerator, and they call that renewable resources, which burning of trash, of our trash, is called a renewable resource. And I want you all to discuss that.
As to the first question, I support former Delegate John Olszewski for County Executive. I believe that John has not only the vision for what we need in the future, he understands, having grown up in the Dundalk community and served in the legislature, the need to support economic development and growth, not only at the higher end, if you will, the Hunt Valleys of the world, but what's it going to take to get people who don't have quite the job skills, job sets into the workforce and be productive members of our community, as well as a very strong, firm commitment to education. Having been a teacher in Baltimore County and worked on education issues in Annapolis. As to the incineration and landfill challenge, I think, as with Howard County, Baltimore County should look at composting and be aggressive about it. It's not easy because a lot of restaurants would have to change their way of doing business, because that's where a lot of the compostables would be generated. But I think it's doable. We need to, at the state level, eliminate the tax credits for the renewable portfolio for incineration, as well as for what's called black liquor, which is another substance that's burned and for which the incineration can actually get a tax break. But we have to do it in tandem with greater recycling. Right now, and I probably shouldn't say this because people will be aghast, they do not actually recycle bottles at the facility out in Texas, out in Cockeysville. Bottles crush and you don't have a use for mixed glass. So unless we find a different way of reusing bottles, glass, we're not going to get the full value out of also our trash. We need multiple strategies. I think the installation of solar panels out at the landfill was a good way to start moving towards renewable energy, but that doesn't help eliminate the landfill fillings. And we need more conservation at home. We need to find different ways of using less packaging and less materials so that we're not actually as individuals. So I think it's a multiple stage effort that the state's got to play a role along with the county.
What was the question?
County exec.
County executive.
And
yes, so county executive, I mean, in the Republican Party, I like Al Redmer. I mean, I think he's a good government guy, but, Baltimore County has a tradition of, good government, sound Democrats as well. And, I personally know, Jim Baroshin, and I think he's a sort of guy who, unfortunately, there seem to be fewer and fewer of them in Annapolis, but somebody who comes at problems from an independent perspective as a centrist. And I don't know much about the other two Democrats other than Vicki Allman seems to be Kevin Kamenetz 2.0, which doesn't really doesn't strike me as a real exciting proposition for this area or Baltimore County generally. As far as recycling, I have had some experience. I worked with a landfill methane recycler, which took the methane output that comes from dumps and turned it into electricity. That's a sort of program that it's similar in terms of the subsidy structure to the trash burning, and it takes a waste product, something that's a waste product, and turns it into a useful form of energy. So, the level of the subsidies that these, what are effectively recycling operations that turn waste into energy receive, I think is in question. But, I'm not convinced 100% that categorically eliminating all of those programs is effective. I read in the Sun about the the black the coal from the paper processing in West Vaco, and I grew up driving to Garrett County through Luke, and I mean, the entire town smelled like pollution. It's better since then, and they still have a paper processing plant there. So we're incrementally making progress, and I think that's what we have to do with recycling and environmental protections generally, is continually, incrementally make process and try to just take into account that everything we do, there's some reaction, there's some effect to the economy, to other markets, and just make sure that what we're doing makes sense. So.
This is going to be an important election year. The county executive's race obviously is open. I have not officially endorsed in the Republican primary, but I will tell you I have a 20-plus year record of involvement with Al Redmer. Al Redmer represented my hometown of Perry Hall in the House of Delegates. I think he's a right-of-center Republican, and he seems to be the one that I seem to see the most in Towson, and he definitely has a strong temperament and maturity, and would probably be very effective in that position. You're going to have a new state senator, and Jim Brochin, I know, has parted ways with his party on a number of things. Chris West is someone running for that seat who I think could carry on that tradition very well. You're going to have a new school board, and I want to recognize Julie Henn. Julie Henn will be running for as one of two candidates running for the school board, and I want to thank her for coming tonight. So it's an important election year, a lot of quality candidates running, and thank you all for coming out to meet some of them. As far as the recycling spice, I totally agree with you. We have to do far more to improve recycling. We have to cut down on plastic pollution. We have to find some way of dealing with this bag issue. I driving around this county, particularly after the windstorms, it is amazing the trash that is collecting on trees along the corridors. There are only so many road crews that can go out and collect this trash. It is particularly bad this year. So I think it's better environmental education. It's finding a solution to reduce plastic pollution. And I agree with Delegate Lafferty, finding a way for the county's recycling center to accept glass and other products like that.
And polystyrene?
Right, absolutely.
So the first question was, who would I be supporting for county executive? I'll be supporting a Republican for county executive. But if a Democrat was going to be elected for county executive, it would more than likely probably be Jim Brochin, because I concur that even Jim Brochin realizes, Delegate Steve Lafferty, I've had some private conversations with Jim Brochin, and even he doesn't support Steve Lafferty, neither do I. So I just want to let you know, I will be supporting a Republican, more than likely Al Redmer. We'll see what happens. As far as your question about the environment?
Trash.
Okay, all right, the trash, yeah. Well, I believe that we need to continue the recycle program that we have, and we'll keep working at it. Spikes, you have a lot of ideas. I talked to you over there for several minutes, and I was very impressed with your knowledge. So I'm looking forward to working with anybody that really cares about the environment, and we can talk and come up with ideas together. Thank you.